Hello and welcome back, everyone, to Freelancer on Rocket Rabbit Commentaries. And in this episode, we will finish delivering Ashcroft back to New York.
This is Patrol Gamma 6 on special assignment. We have a prisoner for the LSF. Requesting permission to proceed. Over.
Acknowledge, Gamma 6.
You see,
Over.
Thank you, Unity.
more awesome per second in your game would necessarily require that you're doing something other than just listening to characters talk, or that you actually have a reason to move the damn joystick while you're playing.
Junie out.
The Missouri? Well, she's full of surprises. Usually the Navy draws the lines at Zone 21.
In the Navy, you can fly in outer space in the Navy. You can meet face to face in the Navy.
Yeah, we don't actually have spoiler tags.
One more trade lane.
Annotations Gerdat is spoiling a little bit of some behind the scenes stuff, and also we get ambushed on our way to Missouri onto the battleship Missouri.
Oh, thank God, it's a surprise.
This is Fort Bush. We're launching 2 wings to assist you. Fort Bush Wing Alpha here. Engaging enemy.
So yeah, a good portion of the combat in Freelancer is very specifically you and usually 1 or 2 allies against multiple different squadrons of enemy fighters, and this becomes a huge issue because of what the drop rate for nanobots and shield batteries actually is during story missions. There's very specifically a significant drought of them during story missions, to the point where while you're going through Freeplay, you're under the assumption that you never actually have to buy shield batteries and nanobots, but for every story mission, you will need to max out on them before leaving.
Kaboom! Justin Carlisle. What handsome last names on these folks.
Well, again, these are primarily, the Eastern Seaboard stereotypes for names, so.
These stereotypes. Right, New York, which was, at a time, one of the most heavily visited hubs in the entire world.
Last one. That was close. Thank you, Alpha Wing.
Don't mention it, Gamma 6.
This way, Trent. Junie's waiting.
What? Don't congratulate Ongli. Congratulate Trent.
Ashcroft must really know something important.
Alright, we are almost to the Missouri. We just gotta make it to Norfolk Shipyard, and then one more jump gate, and then one more jump trade lane.
2001, A Space Odyssey.
It's not going to take us 10 years in order to get to the Missouri, Mr. Cloud. Come on.
I can see the entire history of human civilization leading up to this very moment when I had gained the consciousness to perceive it in the first place.
Here is the Missouri. Haha.
Over.
This is Patrol Gamma 6 on special
Across the wide Missouri.
Roger that. Gamma 6 out.
And this is actually the first time we've been able to dock on a battleship. It's very nice.
Yeah.
Away, you rolling river.
Oh yeah, we interrupted King, but King isn't actually coming in with us. So he's going back to Pittsburgh.
He's unconscious in my cargo.
You sunk my battleship.
Ashcroft is a dangerous man, and I don't like to take unnecessary risks.
Not as dangerous as this man's haircut.
Which reminds me, the bounty.
Bye.
And I owe you the access codes. They're both being uploaded to your neuronet now.
Yay!
An extra bonus.
Thanks.
You did a good job.
Look at these motherfuckers just blipping onto the screen like it's no big deal.
Of course, he's our best insight into the smuggling ring. I'm sure we can make him talk. Meanwhile, with your new security status,
I have several motivations right now. 1 is hair gel.
Where are you?
2 is that sweet, sweet booty.
Too, Trent. But don't go too far. I might need you again soon.
Aw, she's pretending to flirt with us.
And that's one of the main reasons why you have female opposite male characters in these games.
Yeah.
This is still during a time that men were the predominant players of games.
Yes. Alright, so we managed to successfully repair our boat, and from here, let's see. Restock all of our shield batteries and nanobots, please.
Loaded into cargo hold.
We got like 1,000 credits worth of payment from that mission, Mr. Cloud. Yuck.
Reinvest.
But thankfully, we now have upgraded our shield, so we should be slightly tankier now. Now we could actually attempt. Yeah, we could actually get into the Defender here, but as Annotations Gerdat mentions here, I don't plan on getting a heavy fighter until much later on. I'm going to be sticking to light fighters for a majority of the game.
So they want you to look forward to getting the credits you need to upgrade your vessel.
Yeah.
I see.
The Defender is not a bad boat, honestly. It's effectively a smaller version of another boat that we'll come across later called the Dragon, and because of that, it is actually relatively good to get comfortable with it if you want to go that route. But since I'm going to be using light fighters for a majority of the game, I'm not all that concerned about it. Now I have to now that we're back in the free play section, I've got to figure out where I want to go. And I think we're going to go back to Colorado here, right? Yeah, we're going back to Colorado. Okay.
Freelancer Alpha 1-1. This is Battleship Missouri. Everything's go for launch. Good luck on cargo bay.
Overlapping audio dialogues.
You're all clear. Nothing on your...
And no subtitles.
Now, to be perfectly honest, it is actually most efficient to stay inside the New York system during this particular session of free play, since we're going to need to go to California afterwards. But I wanted to go to Colorado specifically for an attempt to get some specific weapons from mission rewards or loot rewards. Each different system in Liberty technically has a different faction that you end up fighting. So Colorado's lead faction is not actually the Rogues, but I think it is. Is it the Junkers? I don't think it's the Junkers. I forget which faction it is, but they have a specific weapon that I'm looking for, and I would like to get a couple of it before we actually continue on with the next story.
So I tell you, man, every time that we're just flying through a traffic lane or through a gate, like, my rating for this game goes down because it's just so much wasted time.
But it's not wasted time, Mr. Cloud. We're supposed to be using this time in order to get more familiar with the world around us and our boat. But the thing is, since this is like my 5th playthrough, I don't need to get more familiar with my boat or the map.
Okay, and then we sit through another gate.
I will grant that the inability to jump from a major hub to another major hub is a small problem that I don't actually agree that it's a small problem. I actually like the travel in this game, mostly because look at how beautiful this spacescape is.
Right, but it's just colors, though.
But it's very pretty colors, damn it.
Yeah, but there are no objects. There are no like, oh, shoot the crate and make the gold come out.
As we're about to die.
Cool. Attention! You are now hereby officially fucked.
So this faction call themselves the Xenos, and they are very specifically xenophobic. That is all I know about them. I think that they actually have some relatively interesting weapon systems that you can get from them, but not here. The cool stuff from the Xenos doesn't come up until much later on. If you actually want to finish the game specifically, the biggest milestone for finishing the game is the super heavy boats at the very end. And there are 3 different pirate factions that you have to get into in order to actually get into the super heavy boats. I think I forget who has got the Corsair and the Eagle, but the big one that I remember is the Titan. And we will never get to see these boats, so I may as well go over them now. They are very large, and they have a lot of weapon systems. They've got some turret systems. They have absolutely massive bays for both nanobots and shield batteries. But it doesn't usually end up mattering because you're fighting enemies at parity with you, so you're spending, more nanobots and shield batteries when you take damage. So, getting into a Titan is one of the end goals for the game, to be perfectly honest. And you can only actually achieve that through piracy free play.
Having the option to get off of the main track is cool. That at least at any time while you're flying through here, you could just take a massive detour and halt the main game action.
Yeah, okay, so this is the faction called the Lane Hackers. The Lane Hackers, well, very specifically, are famous for sitting at the midpoints in between trade lane ignitions, and well, breaking the trade lanes and committing piracy on transport ships. They're also flying ships known as the Daggers and Stilettos. The Dagger and Stiletto are extremely fast light fighters. This actually does matter in exactly one mission later on in the story that I fucking hate. But unfortunately, I'm not going to commit piracy in order to get into a Dagger or a Stiletto because, well, doing so is extremely costly.
15 Freelancer, Alpha 1-1. Mind if I take a peek in your hold?
We got nothing.
There's nothing here I want.
So we're going to use Pueblo Station as our current free play base.
Please proceed to Dock 2.
Pueblo.
Yes, Pueblo Station.
PWUEYABPQKO. Pueblo.
There are significantly fewer Qs in Pueblo than you mentioned, Mr. Cloud.
How nice of you to notice.
Okay then. Pueblo, being a military base, does actually have some decent stuff for us to purchase here. Specifically, we can get stun pulses. The base stun pulse is not something that I want, but I think they also have the advanced stun pulse. The advanced stun pulse, I want exactly one of it for the entirety of the game. It is literally the best shield destroying weapon in the entire game. At the cost of it, very specifically, doesn't do hull damage effectively at all. You'll notice that they also have different, much later class weapons here, like the Debilitator, which is a upgraded version of the stun pulse. And a bunch of mine layers. I will never use the mine layers. Jesus. They are actually relatively effective, but they're not something I'm ever going to use, sadly. But yeah, we are here specifically to get the advanced stun pulse.
Damn. But be safe, everybody.
Yeah,
why is
because this is the end
of
Annotations
Gerdat concluding the episode?
Annotations Gerdat is out from this part because we're looking for missions to do from here.
Okay, well we'll see you when we see you, Annotations Gerdat. Yes. We'll just carry on from here.
Okay.
Finally.
And this one is actually relatively brief because the dude that we're hunting for is right next to Pueblo Station. See, he's only 20k out.
Loera.
Waypoint into your nav map. Refer to it for more instructions.
And
okay, thank you very much, generic mission commission man.
So what's new in the world of Cloud as we go out to the ice field?
So, a lot of the same, my friends. A lot of the same. After years of playing against the same chess AI, that he still continues to defeat me. After many years of playing the same chess AI, that I will at least manage to defeat him as long as I follow basic principles. That's about all I got right now.
Okay. Faction status.
We've been playing for 1 hour, 30 minutes, and counting. Scanning for signs of life.
None yet.
Scanning for signs of intelligence.
One located, one dismissed.
Yeah.
We read you entering range of your target.
Kill.
We're painting the ship so he'll
Kill.
Kill.
All right. You should already be able to see just how much the new shield is helping us out. We took a direct missile and it only took about 20% of our shield. It was very nice.
I'm warning you.
Don't let Alex Loera get away. Follow him to the new waypoint.
Go to.
We get like to that one scene from Family Guy where Peter Griffin is trying to chase somebody on an escalator, but he doesn't think to actually climb the escalator during his pursuit.
The Copperton asteroid field. Sorry, I thought this was one of the ice fields. Let's see if...
No way you're getting to our...
Okay, so I can't actually see it from here, but somewhere in the Copperton asteroid field is one of the jump holes, and because we got told about it during our last main story mission that Ashcroft used a jump hole in the Copperton asteroid field in order to surprise the Pueblo station.
There's the target. My lasers are so free and so happy.
At some point, we are going to have a different spread of weapons, and it's going to make these fights slightly faster. I think we don't actually upgrade our weapons until we get our next boat, though. But we should be getting our next boat, not necessarily in the next mission, the next main story mission, but the one after that. Mostly because I know that we want to upgrade our boat just before we leave Liberty. And yes, we are going to get pushed out of Liberty here shortly.
Really should be doing more dodging there.
Well, the thing is, although there are specialty maneuvers, specifically I want to say that the vertical flip and the two famous Star Fox maneuvers, the vertical flip and the aileron roll are both here. Thing is, I don't know what they're fucking mapped to or how to actually do them. So. And you never actually need to do them, to be perfectly honest. They are most certainly worthwhile to know because you can do and change targets rapidly whilst you know them. There, we destroyed the alien artifacts. Anyway, back to Pueblo.
Signing off.
You know what I thought might be cool is if like some of these asteroids were actually like little gas bombs that you can ignite them and cause them to explode to cause damage to nearby targets.
They would probably detonate immediately though, and with some of these asteroids being as small as they are, they would end up dealing damage to the ship. Anyway, in the next episode, we will finish off our free play session and continue on with the story. Be safe, everybody.